Duke, it's just me.
I hear you fuckers are blaming me when it's actually my tummy's fault for me being late. My tummy hates me and wants me to throw up. But oh well. One of them things. How are you guys doing today? I have Magma on and I groomed him well. He's a Shota now.
Hoi.
I mean, it was either femboy or Shota, and he said that he would rather die than be a femboy, so.
The exact quote was, I would rather choose to be a Shota than be forced to be a twink.
You know, at least that means you don't have to go into the competitive ranking between Mizu and Atari.
Thank God. All I had to do was just fight Kunai then.
Lumi is coming through only one speaker. I don't know how I'm only coming through one speaker. I don't even know how the heck to balance speakers. I've never changed anything.
Yeah, you're only coming through the left audio track.
How the fuck? How the hell do you even adjust that?
I don't know.
What? That's weird.
No, sorry about that.
How the hell do you even adjust that? I haven't even changed anything. What the fuck? Let me get the sacred oil. Lumi needs a tech priest. God damn it. How the Do I need to summon somebody? How?
I'm so new to OBS. I don't know how to fix that. I'm sorry.
How the fuck? Hold on. Microphone.
Machine Spirit is displeased by the Shota. What did I do, you? What did I do?
It says the thing is right in the middle where it should be. Huh? You know what? Hold on, let me see.
Hope we're turning that off. Thank you.
You know, are you guys sure this isn't a you problem that all of you guys
No.
are just collectively having at the same time?
There you go. It's not a bad mic cable, Mr. J, because I'm hearing Lumi on my side through both of my ears.
Let's see. On the left side on stream. How do fix? Okay. And also, you know what? I'll try to. Let's see. Open my stream and listen, cause no, I didn't change anything. I can hear you through both my speakers, but are quieter than usual. I don't know how I'm quieter. Oh, it's like, okay, I see on my OBS that, like, the top one, which I guess is representing the right side, maybe, I don't know.
There we go.
It is, like, higher than the bottom one. But again, I don't know how the fuck to... I don't know. I message Temp and I'd be like, Temp, help. It's like I could try to unplug and re-plug in my microphone.
Might work?
I don't know, because, again, I haven't changed anything. Yeah, hold on, give me a second. Let me disable.
Hello, Lou. Hey, Akko.
Okay, I plugged it back. I unplugged it and plugged it back in. It did
I'm
it.
hearing your fan.
Well, that's my AC. I don't feel like dying.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll turn down the gain a little bit, though. No, I'm not using a laptop microphone. It's my regular fine. That's better? Okay, just had to unplug it and plug it back in. Okay. Cool.
OBS was acting weird. Go.
Oh well, at least it balanced itself out. Lumi, what did he do? I just unplugged it and plugged it back in. So I guess I didn't need a tech priest. I just had to think like my mother.
Yeah.
The ritual replugging never fails. Yeah. Yeah.
Always.
And also, we're going to be doing 2 streams today, and depending on how this one goes and how long it takes, it'll be like a little hour or so buffer between my next one. Because this one, we're going to be talking about the USS Cole. Because Magmo is like, I know this one, let me yap it. I'm like, okay, you can yap.
I was on the Cole for a little bit.
Yeah, and he was on the Cole for a bit, too. And then
Not
later...
Not
stationed, you're just on it?
Yeah, I was not... for clarification, I was not stationed on the Cole. I was just working on it for maintenance when it was piered in the port where I was working at.
You know, since you're a Shota now, I can now bully you on how you probably were sent in small crevices.
Because I was... You're not wrong, because I was very, very skinny when I was in the Navy. I never broke 150 pounds. They always sent me in the bilge of every single ship to do maintenance, and it was just like, it's so dark in here.
It's just like, go, little boy, go. You're the only one that could fit in here.
Yeah. And the last time I was actually sitting in the bilge, the week before I got out, I fucked up one of my muscles right below my right rib cage, to the point where there's a section that the muscle's fucked up and completely numb. Which probably, I think it also fucked over my not displaying gallbladder a little bit.
Good question, Loomis. What's up? What's your question? No stream for 5 days, now 2 streams in 1 day? Yeah, well, I streamed yesterday just on Kick. Because I wanted to listen to some music that I would get slapped with a copyright for on YouTube. And so I was just jamming out yesterday while playing Dude. It was fucking great. I miss when music was good.
Yep.
Volume's a bit low. I don't know what it is on your side, but that sounds like a personal problem. Everyone else says they sound fine.
Yeah, you sound fine on my end when I turn up the stream volume.
Are you a mermaid or a siren? I would like to say just, well, I am still in the firm belief that everyone is wrong, that sirens are just evil mermaids. Mermaids are mermaids. Sirens are bird women. Sirens will always be bird women. Because that's what they were. It was Odysseus and his dumbass little shit that's like, oh, look at it, sirens. Nope, those were mermaids, Odysseus. Stop being a retard. So, Odysseus is the problem here, not me.
That is funny.
So yeah, no, sirens will always be bird women. You think sirens are evil mermaids? That's just stupid. I know! Sirens are bird women that sit on top of large rocks in the ocean and lures sailors by singing. That was the whole siren shtick. There's two differences between harpies and sirens. One, harpies, sirens were from specifically Greek mythology as bird women. Harpies were from different mythology than Greek. And also, harpies were more inland bird women than sirens.
I'm saying
I said harpies! Well, in French, both mermaid and siren are the same word, so for our French-speaking friends, the confusion is understandable. The French aren't real people.
about to say, you're talking about the inferior delay. They don't count. They never counted.
We can go on, like, you know, a stream tangent on how I yap about people being wrong about mythology and mythological creatures. That could be a separate stream where I just go full nerd with that shit. For now, we yap about the bombing of the USS Cole. You're not real? Nope. If you take the pills, I'll go away. So don't take your pills. I don't want to go away. I like it here, please. It's always the French's fault? Yes. If something goes wrong, just blame the French, and no one will question you otherwise.
That is true.
Okay, so before we start the video, is there anything that you want to say, or do you just want to do videos then yap as we go?
We can just start the video. It's fine.
Okay.
Which one are you starting with?
The first one he sent me, the USS Cole, looking back on the attack.
Okay.
Alright, and guys, let me know how the volume is, since I guess OBS is having a hissy fit.
Yep.
Hey, Nerdy, thank you. Jesus Christ, 11 month. Oh my god. You people are starting to creep up on a year as being members. Jesus.
I think mine was October. It was whenever you did your first Doctor 2 stream.
I haven't taken pills in years. That might explain a lot. Good. Are you an evil mermaid that kills people? No, not evil. Just
no, you don't.
It's
you
fun.
Don't kill people. You just steal their feet.
Before we get started, hold on. Because I have the magic of OBS, not OBS, VTube Studio.
Oh, no.
Oh, where is
I'm
it?
scared. What are you doing?
Where is that? No, not that. No, not that, but that's cute. Where is that? Oh, here we go.
That activates car alarms. Yes, yes. She always activates all the car alarms.
There we go. Hush now.
That no, stop it! Stop it! No!
There we go. Bobby needs passy. Get uppity again.
I only speak the truth.
Shut up. You turn their feet into fins.
You mind sharing it on Discord real quick so I can watch the video?
No, get the delay. Get delayed.
Okay.
Oh, here. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hate how they have their stream quality stuff now, where it's just like, nope, this is it automatically. And it's like, well, fuck you too. Hi, Mr. J. Thank you for being a member for 7 months. 7 months official already. Good lord, time flies. I'll be listening on the way home from work. I'll chat at you guys later. Bully the Shota. Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
Explosion claimed the lives of at least 4 sailors on one of our naval vessels, the USS Cole, this morning. Many were injured. A number are still missing.
My prayers are with the families of those killed and injured, and with all the brave men and women in uniform who serve our country every day around the world.
In the fall of 2000, the USS Cole deployed to the Persian Gulf to reinforce U.S. ships enforcing trade sanctions on Iraq. The ship was refueling in Yemen's Aden Harbor on October 12th when a small picket boat filled with hidden explosives approached the side of the Cole and exploded.
At that time, Lieutenant came right at the door frame, and I said, LT, hey, I have one.
Man. What's happening now with Iran that they might try to get uppity again, guys?
Oh, they tried to get uppity. They attacked the Israel, and then Trump decided to drop a couple.
Yeah, I know.
Sure
They
about
might
those.
try to get uppity with any U.S. ships
Oh
that might
no,
be in the area.
they touch the ships, they're gonna feel the wrath. If we want to, we can just send a carrier. One carrier will destroy their entire army, their entire navy, their entire everything.
It's
Yes, I am sucking the dick of the navy. I do not care.
it's okay. That's your second nature as somebody in the Navy. Anyways.
Yes, Jacob, do not touch our boats.
It's like at this point, if any small boat was heading towards any U.S. vessel, they would just shoot as a warning.
Well, there are procedures when people get a little too close into the boats now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's warning shots. Maybe it's putting 50 cals through people's faces.
If it's like, I really hope we don't get a repeat or something worse than what happened with the Cole, especially since Iran is like, oh well, you bombed our nuclear plants, and it's like, shut up. You don't have the right to advance your nuclear bullshit.
So, from what I know of military procedure, because the fact that we've taken action against Iran now, and Iran has said, "Hey, America, we're just going to kill everyone now." Any American in that area, in Africa, Middle East, or in around that area, is going to be in high alert. Any military bases that are not already evacuated are going to be on high alert.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be. It's not going to be it's not going to be a repeat of the Cole. It's going to. If some two idiots on a speedboat comes near a ship with explosives, they have to get through 3 lines of gunfire, depending on the size of the boat.
Yeah, it's like from the very limited knowledge that I know, and this is the same. This is mostly with like not like carrier ships as in military planes, but ships that are delivering shit from other countries. Whenever they see the stupid little excuses of pirate ships that try to get onto their boat, that's when they put an assload of barbed wire everywhere around the border of the boat, up the stairs, everything. So then it would make it very hard for people to actually try to steal anything. I don't know if they do something similar with military boats for the just in case if at least one person survives the 3 line of gunfire.
Okay, so from what I went through, it wasn't in the Middle East, it was in the Gulf. Every non-essential personnel was pulled inside the ship.
Mm-hmm.
A warning was given out. A warning fire was given out. Thankfully, this wasn't pirates. It was just people that
Mm-hmm.
decided to be idiots and get close to a boat they weren't supposed to get close to.
I see.
If they're in a high combat area or a dangerous area, it's going to be pretty much like that the entire time going through those waters.
Oh, okay. I see. Israel. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Hello, LumLum. Here's your Dr. Pepper allowance. You should stream more Jiggle Physics game. I will probably. Let's see. Saturday I'm busy with Archcast and then D&D. Sunday I'm busy with Barotrauma and some other stuff. Probably Monday.
You might be free Saturday because I might have some family obligations that will drag me away from D&D.
Okay, just let me know. If we do end up canceling D&D on Saturday, then I will play Stellar Blade on Saturday. And I do also have the Nikkei DLC and the Nier DLC as well, so I could do the Nikkei stuff.
Dodo.
It's gonna be great. We'll see. Down Periscope is one of my favorite War Games movies. What's Down Periscope?
Sounds like a sub movie. I can look at.
Solium Infernum 1. Whenever we plan another Solium Infernum game, because I know Arch wants to do a game where I don't know if he wants to fund another one, since people were requesting that he gets a full party of people and no AI, since God decided to smite down Arch's win, and then I won by default because I took a thing.
Oh,
Ah,
I know. I
right.
remember this movie now. Yeah, Down Periscope is an amazing war movie.
Keep in mind the art will continue until the game is complete. I know Mechanicus. It's like all week has just been miserable. I didn't want to stream at all, but then I'm like I have to make money, so gonna be trying to stream every day this week. But I also have other things I'm doing. Like tomorrow for Wednesday, I have. Is tomorrow Wednesday?
Tomorrow.
Today's
Wednesday,
Tuesday,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Tomorrow I have stream with the Pontius, and then then I'm going to be doing Repo with Mizu and whoever else is joining. Thursday under the T, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll probably do Darkwood Thursday afternoon. Friday, what am I doing Friday? Friday is more Sharp. We'll be doing that from like noon to probably 9 p.m. That'll be fun. Oh, Sharp's been great. Saturday, Archcast. And then, pending what we're going to be doing in the evening. Sunday, I'm all booked up. And then, we start back on Monday again.
Boot.
One more document, I got to do a reprint. And, you know, I was about to hit that enter key. I have no idea if I hit the enter key or not. What I do remember is when I came to, I was smelling JP5.
The ship was attacked, the bomb went off.
GP5 is a jet fuel.
The lights went out,
It's
the
naval
ventilation
jet fuel.
stopped, and everyone was jarred from wherever they were standing to the deck across the space to starboard.
The blast ripped a 40 by 40 foot hole in its hull, killing 17 American sailors and wounding 39.
Some of these
A
sailors
total
not
of
found
6
until
sets
days
of
after the
remains
explosion.
have been found on board the Cole during the course of today.
We have 11 who are currently missing, and we're taking all necessary steps to ensure that they're accounted for.
The explosion was so powerful that bulkheads were blown inward, and non-watertight doors had broken from their hinges. The blast had torn into the center of the ship. Crew members who'd been eating in the mess
just walls.
Also, your bot seems to be the only commenter. Well, Twitch isn't my main platform at all. It's like my third, like one of the last ones I focus on. YouTube's my main. Kick is my second main. And then Twitch. Until Twitch decides to die out. I'm sure that'll happen in the next like 3 or so years.
Hopefully.
Because everybody hates Kick. Not Kick, Twitch.
About to say everyone currently hates Twitch.
Too many platforms to keep track of.
Yep.
What's your channel rated? I don't know. If you mean like age, I always put it to 18 plus. I always have the content warnings on because I don't feel like changing them. And also, it's basically the same shit I talk about. Profanity, 18 plus, and especially with the shit that comes out of my mouth, I ain't changing that. Soon LumLum will stream on Twitter. It's like I do sometimes. I should probably do that more often because all I have to do is just turn on the little toggle for it and boom, it's Twitter. It's like hopefully they build Twitter, X, whatever, into a better streaming platform type of thing. But it's gonna take at least a couple of years for that to happen. Maybe 10, who knows?
Yeah, I doubt it's going to the streaming services on Twitch. It's not Twitch. Twitter itself is going to be worked on for a little bit because because Elon's still busy with other projects and other things.
Yeah, but it's like if the whole plan that Asmon has actually happens, that'd be pretty neat. Because he wants Twitter, X, Twitter, whatever, wants it to be a viable streaming platform. But that means the entire the platform as a whole has to go through with being re-rated on fucking apps and everything. New guidelines would have to be put down because we all know that horse will just start streaming naked.
Dog Lover, this is not politics we're currently watching. It is the USS Cole and what happened on October 12, 2000.
Yep, this isn't politics, this is military.
Military history.
If we were talking about any war things that were currently going on, that would be politics. But since we're learning history, this is not politics.
Reported that the blast power created a visible wave that traveled across the deck.
We heard those guys in Chief's Mess, made our way
The
out.
explosion actually
just a little
happened
ways
directly
aft to Chief's
below
Mess
the
to see if we
galley.
could help.
Jeez.
So
Got back there and found that
the
the false
explosion
bulkhead
pushed up
that goes
forward
across
and killed a
the
couple people in the
port
galley
side
that
of
were
Chief's
waiting in
Mess
line
to
for
the
food.
DC deck had collapsed over itself several times. We couldn't get
DC
in. They
means
couldn't
damage-
get out.
damage control.
So finding a way in, it was going to be more of a
This
access,
is military what
rescueman
feet
sort
for the
of
fish.
situation.
Shut up! Also, hello,
From
Serrana,
October
how are you?
18th to October 28th, Navy divers recovered personal items from the flooded spaces and sifted through the fine sand on the seafloor for anything that might have belonged to the fallen.
Now, on the recovery and the salvage and the diving operations that are going on, yes, this is dangerous work. Anybody that has been even a sport scuba diver over the years has a good understanding of its inherently dangerous work.
They searched every flooded compartment, including areas deemed too dangerous to enter safely, recovering all missing sailors and assisting FBI investigators in collecting evidence.
The ship wasn't built to be this damaged and to operate or even just exist without other casualties happening. So throughout the entire time we were in Yemen, we would continually have smaller casualties.
The divers inspected every inch of the blast area, looking for evidence
Can you
of
pause
the
real quick?
explosive device.
Yeah.
The FBI was keenly interested.
So, from what I remember, from what I've learned, during the first night after the attack, because the attack happened in the morning. During the first night of the attack, the CEO of the ship, Commander Kirk, he did not. The American flag hung high on the ship for the entire night, and that is pretty important. Because in military customs is you have morning and evening colors. Morning you raise the flag. Evening colors you lower the flag. He didn't. Commander Kirk did not lower the flag. Also, the ship was starting to flood throughout the entire night, and majority of the crew that were able to still stand and still help with fighting all the flooding and all the fires pretty much had to use buckets to get the flooding under control before a hole in the ship was actually cut open so they can actually plumb out the flooding water.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And
Also,
oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, also, when they say casualty, they do not mean someone is dead. A casualty just means either a person or equipment is damaged in a way that cannot be used.
Okay.
So if a casualty happens to a person, it can be, oh, their head's missing, or oh, hey, they broke their hand, they can't help anymore.
Okay. Interesting. And oh yeah, it's like in that naval training video that we've seen. Do they use the wreckage of the Cole at like their rebuilt simulation of the wreckage of the Cole as like training stuff for all naval boot camps, or is it just like depending on which one you go to?
There's only one naval boot camp.
Oh, okay.
And they're I can't really say much because I NDA and all that BS. The Navy will actually come after me if I visibly say anything. However, I can say what they put out on what they put out on their own fucking YouTube channel. That ship what they used was pretty much simulating the Cole, but in a more dramatized way. It's when I went through battle stations. It was it was more than just trying to simulate the Cole. It was trying to get everyone used to any kind of casualty and anything that could happen, like medical. I can say what they were showing. What it was medical related, and it was damage control related.
Okay.
Because some people will not do damage control. There's damage controlmen, there's electricians, there is master at arms with the people with which were the people with the guns. So it's basically battle station is to get everyone prepared for basic damage control, whether they are going to be stuck in the nuclear reactor of a submarine, or they're going to be the person walking the decks with the guns, making sure no one creeps up on their ship.
Oh, okay.
Bugs. Every single sailor is a firefighter. That's what they train everyone to do.
When Thumb Jim is here, it's good to see ya. How are you? Ella Serrano, are we sure that Lumi and her fellow mermaids didn't sink the ship so they could kidnap the sailors for their feet? Shut up. No.
Al-Qaeda blew a hole in the side of the ship because they did not like America.
Man, and plus, if it was mermaids that did it, and then I'm sure, one, there wouldn't be as much of a boom, it would be more of a crash into a rock. And I don't think the dudes would complain too much because hot woman and then death. It's okay. Ryda, how are you doing?
Jacobson? Too many. Too many.
What does that mean? How many Kirks are in the Navy?
Too many. There's too many. So any of the simple names, there are always too many because you always refer to your last name and Jameson, James, like that kind of names. You will pretty much see like 5 of them in a single command, and some places have like 35 different commands. So you will see in one base like 50 of one person.
I see.
Pray they are not the same rate, which is your job, and rank. Because if it's like ET2 Kirk, I repeat, ET2 Kirk, report to the commanding officer, and you see for the commanding officer's desk 3 of them. It's like who are you trying to get to? It can get pretty funny with more than one people.
You know, it is funny. Granted, like, you know, I know, horrible comparison, but I'll do it anyway. So when I was in school, there was 5 or 6 girls with my exact same name. Well, not last name, but same first name. And we had the same hair color, same eye color. We all wore glasses, all in the same grade. And they would just be like, okay, is insert real name here? Then all of us would be like, yes. And then it's like, no, that one. And we're just like, oh, okay. It was funny.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's great. I think there's one other one in another class, but it was just... It's like all of us, same name, spelt differently, but pronounced exactly the same. You gotta love it when that shit happens.
Yeah. Jacob Berner, pray you don't have the last name of Seaman, because if you go to boot camp, whenever you're standing your watch, you have to challenge anyone that comes up to you with Seaman recruit last name. So if your last name is Seaman, you have to Seaman recruit Seaman and then do your spiel. Pray you have an understanding RDC, otherwise you will be kissing that floor.
Sergeant named Major is also fun. Oh, that's great. Oh, gotta love last names.
Oh, trust me, my last name was butchered through the entirety of boot camp.
Buttfish report to the poop deck for latrine duty? No! Hi, Jackson. LumLum was in team that hit the U.S. Indianapolis.
Oh yeah. This is going to hit chat like a wrecking ball, and then it's going to come back and hit you, Lumi.
What?
In the Navy,
Huh?
like bathrooms, latrines, all that, they're not called those. They're called the head.
Why?
Something back when ships were looking like the old pirate ships, you usually go to the bathroom at the front of the ship, on the head of the ship, so the captain's quarters never stank up.
I see. Will you be looking into the USS Liberty? Probably not today. We're gonna be focusing on the Cole today. But we can look at different things that happen to different ships and other military equipment. You know, I'll probably do that for like. I know the 4th of July is for Independence Day and everything, but we can look at different military happenings during our 4th of July stream. I think that'd be pretty fun. Because I don't plan on, you know, going out to see fireworks because I don't want to go over to the lake. There's too many people. And once in a while, if someone decides to get a little spicy, then they'll try to shoot somebody and try to say, "Oh, that's just the fireworks." Ugh, happened once like every couple of years. I don't feel like doing that. And also, traffic fucking sucks. I could see the fireworks just fine from my window. Could I go buy some fireworks and light them off? Yeah, sure. But that requires me to travel over state lines. And I don't feel like getting arrested for carrying explosives over state lines. Yeah, that's just... And plus, it's cheaper a couple states down anyway. You know, I'm gonna stop talking before a cop is just like, huh? And be like, shh, not actually doing anything, I swear, officer.
Oh my god. It's cold down here. You wanna borrow some of your heat? Ugh.
Yeah, sure, take the heat from outside. Ooh, Pontius has been sharing with me his lore destroyers streams, and oh, it's been great. I can't wait to be able to yap with Pio and stuff when we do our stream with Pontius, Pio, and Arch. That'll be great.
Nice. Good luck with that.
Alright, let us continue.
In anything that might help its investigation to identify the terrorist or the composition of the bomb.
We didn't know who'd attacked the ship at this point. No idea. Didn't know anything about Al-Qaeda, had no idea who bin Laden was, really didn't know who had attacked the ship, and for all we knew, it was Yemen.
Rest assured that the United States will seek with all our resources to...
Oh, so it was Al-Qaeda that
It was
attacked
Al-Qaeda.
Okay, so they attacked the Cole. They didn't get much attention because we didn't know jack shit about them, and then 1 year later, we got 9/11.
Yep, the most that Al-Qaeda has done in the past in the 1990s was attack U.S. embassies. And if I remember correctly, let me read through Wiki real quick. Yes, Wiki can be really nice if you actually verify the sources they're using for the Wiki page. So the ship was warned of hostiles in the area, of Al-Qaeda in the area, but I don't think the entire ship was warned, and I don't think all naval personnel was warned about Al-Qaeda, because they just saw that, hey, we're in Yemen, hey, we need fuel, let's stop real quick and get some fuel. The captain, and the next video you see what the captain did in case they actually thought they were going to be attacked. But as far as the enlisted men go, they didn't know what happened. All they knew was, we got bombed, this is bad, this is really fucking bad.
I see. You know, it's always interesting to think about that at one point in time. We didn't know jack shit about, like, some of the terrorist organizations and all that, because, granted, I never really looked into the history of Al-Qaeda because I really don't care about the inner workings of terrorist organizations. But it's like, who knows how long they were, like, they got together, they started forming, they started just, like, you know, recruiting all of these people, and then suddenly, boom, 9/11 happens. You know, that could be a whole other stream. Not today. Another stream. Who knows if people are actually interested in that.
I'll be watching.
Alright, let us continue.
To determine the facts surrounding this tragedy. We will continue taking every step we can to protect our troops, our diplomats, but we will not retreat from our responsibilities. If it turns out, as it appears, to have been a terrorist act, we will hold those who committed it accountable and take appropriate steps.
By year's end, the authorities in Yemen had arrested several individuals with ties to al-Qaeda. 2 of the men believed to have planned the bombing were killed by U.S. airstrikes later on.
Good.
1 is still in U.S.
Burn in hell.
custody, and 1 remains wanted for questioning by the FBI more than 20 years after the bombing. On October 29th, after Navy divers made urgent repairs, the USS Cole slowly moved away from the pier with a small crew on board to monitor the ship. Supported by tugboats and a tow line from the USNS Catawba, the Cole made the journey from the coast of Yemen to the MV Blue Marlin.
Okay, this is gonna be a little silly question. What does USNS stand for? USNS United States Naval Ship, maybe? I don't know.
I believe that's what United States naval ship. Yes, it's basically any ship that the that the Navy itself doesn't particularly own. It here we go. USNS is a United States naval ship. It's a prefix used for designating non-commissioned ships that are owned by the United States Navy but are operated by the Military Sealift Command, the MSC, with a civilian crew. Basically, ships that are run by civilians on the Navy payroll.
Okay. U.S. Navy ship, not a combatant. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I may or may not be involved with Navy somehow. How do I have so many naval men here? It's like I have a little bit of like each military branch just in my viewership. Little bit of Army, a little bit of Marines, a little, well, granted there seems to be a higher percentage of you guys in the Navy.
Well,
and
mermaid,
I don't think
Navy,
I don't
kind of jives well together.
fair enough. Also, I don't think I've ever actually seen someone in my community willingly say that they're part of the Air Force.
No one wants to admit that unless they fly the planes. Terra, yes, and a lot of the Navy are weebs. However, a lot of the military itself is weebs. Go to a tank crew, look inside a tank that isn't destroyed. You will see it's just a weeb den. Oh my god, it's a weeb den.
Oh, hi, Barry. Bye, Barry. Thanks for stopping by and leaving every stream. I appreciate ya. LumLum also loves Azure Lane. I've never played Azure Lane. That's the one that's coming to Steam, right?
No, that's Blue Archive.
Blue Archive, okay.
Azure Lane is basically one of the first gachas that used ship girls as an advertisement, and recently, after seeing that, yes, hot women, especially the one that are revealing a lot of skin, are selling very well for gachas, Azure Lane's moving to more revealing outfits.
I see.
And I'm not complaining.
Oh, man. I know, oh, what was it? Also, Uma Musume Pretty Derby is coming to Steam tomorrow. I've seen that. I still haven't seen the anime. All I know is that it's based off of real horses.
Yep. And the people who made that do not like the horses to be lewd.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
contracts.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they exist. They will be.
Yep. They cannot control the internet. R34 exists for a reason. It will happen. It's going to happen. It already has happened.
Yep. What was the other thing? I don't remember. I'm sure my thought will come back to me at some point.
I challenge all of you. Bismarck is the best one. Come at me. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the one VTuber agency that does have all their VTubers based off of official military ships, planes, and I think tanks.
I think so. You were talking, didn't you say you got in good graces with one of them?
Yes, I am now in the acquaintance and good graces of their anime girl based off of the USS Wisconsin.
Oh, nice. Hi, Amadeus. How you doing, buddy? Oh, look at you, little cutie little.
She looked at a Korean hill. She said, "I don't like that hill," and then she destroyed that hill.
Temper, temper.
Ah, man, it's like as soon as I seen that group, I was like, man, I could so audition, but I'm also like, I like being a mermaid mouse at the same time. I don't know, but I enjoy the girls. I enjoy their designs and everything.
Got Amadeus now.
How you minute it, you're a mouse. Shh.
Yeah. Isn't
A
there
700-foot long.
Hmm?
I was gonna ask, isn't there like an actual ratfish? Ratfish?
Yes, there is. Ugly as sin. But it's adorable at the same time.
Norwegian heavy lift transport ship 23 miles out at sea.
The process of getting back to the United States was a real interesting one that involved helicopters and airplanes, Navy ships, and foreign countries and things. That all bonded the crew.
The Blue Marlin submerged its lower deck and floated it beneath the damaged coal. Once in place, the transport ship gently lifted the coal from the ocean to rest on the Blue Marlin.
You know, it's crazy to think that it's like, okay, we have one large ship, but there will always be a larger ship that can carry the other big ship.
Have you seen the meme of the ship shipping ships?
No.
I will get it for you because
Oh, no.
there is a ship that is carrying ships that are shipping ships that are shipping ships that are shipping ships.
I mean, I've seen the plane that was carrying other planes. There's always a bigger fish. Is it Kui Jong-jin? What?
Here you go.
Does LumLum understand how ships float?
And displacement.
Isn't there always water at the bottom of the ship, just enough to where it has some sort of buoyancy? I always forget how.
Not all the time. So the way that ship is made is not so much to float, but to displace the water itself.
Okay. Ooh. This is a ship shipping ships. No, a ship shipping ships. What? Yep. Modern ships, yes, but it's water displacement. Okay. A ship that carries planes, that carries tanks, that carries men.
Yep.
You know, whenever I see like large ships and everything, I'm like, okay, that's a very large ship. But then I remember that we build things even bigger than that. And whenever I see an actual large military ship or any type of carriers that just, they freak me the fuck out. I don't know what it is, but just realizing how small I am in comparison to something like a large fucking boat freaks me the fuck out. I see a building, I expect it to be larger than I am. Freakishly large boats puts a special type of fear in me I don't know how to explain.
Oh yeah. For me, it's not so much how long the ship is, because in reality, you can walk 500 feet in less than a minute. However, it's the size of how tall a ship actually is under the water that it was a learning experience for me.
It's like heck, because one of these days there's a specific like scuba diving tour thing that I want to do, and just looking at videos that people took of them next to shipwrecks, and just seeing how small they were compared to old shipwrecks from like long ass time ago. It's like, how did we do that in the past? Where, like, hell, even with wooden ships, how the fuck did we do that? And they didn't even have navigation equipment. It was just up to God, and they're fucking looking at the stars saying, yep, that looks about right.
Northern Star leads us all.
LumLum, you're 5 feet tall. Almost everything's taller than you. Shut up, I know. Mermaid fear being squashed by the big metal thing. Yes. Through the power of man. It's like, I swear, we have autism now, but they had super autism because they didn't have a diagnosis.
They were undiagnosed and they chose boats over planes and trains.
Yes.
Like, wait, they couldn't even choose planes or trains. They had to choose boats. Everyone had to choose boats because they weren't invented yet. Because planes and trains weren't invented yet. They had to choose boats.
Well, it was boats and stars. This was before astrology was taken over by middle-aged white women that were having an identity crisis.
Thank you again, Lumi.
Huh?
Thank you again for taking over astrology.
I didn't do anything. I'm not good with astrology.
Deck. The entire docking evolution took nearly 24 hours to complete. With the Cole securely aboard the Blue Marlin, they made the trip back to the United States. In early
Had LumLum met a horse or a camel? Never met a camel. I used to ride horses before my cousin fumbled his ex and took that opportunity away from me. I am still angry at my cousin for fumbling. It's like his ex, lovely woman. She took care of horses. She did shows and everything, and she's like, yeah, I'll teach you how to do what I do. But no, he had to fumble. He had to break up with her. And I'm like, dude, you ruined this for me. He was like, but what about my feelings? I'm like, I don't care. You ruined this for me.
Hey, let me question. You never seen a camel before?
Not in real life.
Have you ever been to a zoo?
The zoos in my areas don't have camels.
Unfortunate.
Sounds like you dropped the ball, Lumi. Why didn't you date her after the breakup? Because she was about 10 years older than I was.
Oh, you could have been hag action before it was a thing. I mean, let me come on.
You know, if her horses are still at the same stable, I could just, like, stick around there and be like, hey, do you remember me? No, that's creepy.
For your horse rides.
Yes! Free horse rides over someone else's feelings. I don't care. Sure, he made it up to me like when I turned about 17. It's like, here, do you want some moonshine? And I'm like, you're lucky this tastes good. And I took the mason jar and brought it home.
Glasses real quick.
Centuria lives. That's supposed to be hours away now. I have to catch up at 2 times speed. Could offer her free rides in return for... No!
Why not?
And somehow Lumi didn't go moonshine blind. Wasn't that bad. It's like, it wasn't straight plain moonshine. It was apple pie moonshine.
Harbinger, Lumi, she groomed someone else happened to be me, and now I'm Mashota.
LumLum, I never did astrology. They did astronomy. They studied the actual stars, not fake signs from them. Whatever.
Oh, God.
Mechanicus, do I want to check fan art? I don't think I want to.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I will refrain from checking fan art.
It's pretty good fan art by like the art itself is pretty good. However,
where are the shorts? He doesn't have the Shota shorts, at least not yet.
I have shorts.
No, I said you don't have the shorts yet.
Ah.
But he has that confused look on his face constantly and is perfect.
I'm wearing glasses, okay?
I'm wearing glasses too. It's okay. We're both struggling here. Coward,
my
I
laptop.
am a coward! Fine, I'll look, and then I'll probably throw up. Oh, hold on, someone new joined the server. I don't want it. Fine. That's horrifying. Why is it... Why must you use your artistic capabilities for evil? Kata! I seen that you booted up Stellar Blade. Are you preparing for stream soon?
Feet, those
And
are
also,
hard.
did you and Atreus successfully scare away another woman from New Blackstreet? You need to stop doing that. What the hell did Atreus say to scare another woman? The Gothic's one I seen. But what happened with this one? Ugh, man. If you guys don't watch New Blackstreet, you guys should, because some of the most out-of-pocket shit keeps coming out of Kata and Atreus' mouth. Mostly Atreus. Like, dear God. It has been... And also, they're getting me closer and closer to saying slurs live on stream.
Like, what kind of slurs? Are you talking like the gamer slurs?
Well, I told a joke last week. That was oh, it was an old joke. Like, people have heard this in the past before, but it's funny. I will say it here because it's silly. So, why are black people so tall?
Why?
Because they're Negroes.
Okay.
Their knees grow. That's not their fault.
Lumi!
What? Kata said I could. Dad joke? Yes.
It's a good one, too.
Yay! Thank you for buying me the shark figure. Oh man, I love bad dad jokes.
AI2 for tomorrow stream with Pontius is done and be uploaded to the AI channel. I'll send you a link in your DMs.
I love dad jokes. They're great.
Gamer subs. Love gamer subs to wake up.
Alright, let's continue with the call. Is there such a thing as a mom joke? No, there's just bad mom advice.
But to say mom jokes usually involve a lawyer.
It's like bad mom advice is like, it's okay if he's bullying you, that means he likes you.
Okay, that's funny.
January 2001, in Pascagoula, Mississippi, the process of restoring the coal began at the Lytton Ingalls shipbuilding facility. 16 months and $250 million later, the coal left Pascagoula and returned to the fleet in Norfolk, Virginia.
I see the ship floating in the water. I see it out executing missions to keep us safe in the United States. And I know that the ship wouldn't be if it wasn't for the actions of so many brave people and the sacrifices of so many fantastic sailors back in October of 2008.
The USS Cole is still in service today, stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, 22 years after the bombing. Its story will never be forgotten, nor will the 17 whose lives were lost.
Tanner, no! That's cursed! She is not. I would much rather, burn her at the stake myself.
Go ahead and finish the video. I'm going to explain a couple of things about the call, but right now I am being called.
Okay.
You're back.
I try to remember it throughout the year, to be honest. October is a time that I definitely set aside extra time and extra thoughts to the folks that died, to the
Is Bonnie Blue the one who had a documentary on 100 Dudes in a Day? No, that was Lily Phillips. Bonnie Blue decided to beat the world record, in her own words, of sleeping with 1,057 men in 12 hours. And I think Lily Phillips did 1,000 men in 24 hours. I am still questioning Bonnie Blue's thing of, oh, I bed this many men in 12 hours. No, she said that she did more than just, like, you know, letting them stick it in. She said that she did blowjobs and shit. And I'm like, no, that's cheating. You cheating whore. So no, if anything, Lily Phillips is still in the lead for that.
What face am I making on your stream? What the hell was that?
You're sticking out your tongue and going,
nah.
Sounds like she's in desperate need of a hobby. She needs an exorcism, that's what she needs. But we'll save that for the stream for later.
folks that were injured, the people that survived in the ship itself and the mission. But throughout the year, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about it. 20 years later, I'm being honest when I say every single day I think about Cole.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know Black Rifle did this one. Interesting.
Yep. So, for anyone stationed on the Cole, to get your warfare device, your warfare insignia, which that's a little thing above your name tape that says, hey, I was on a surface ship, I was on a carrier, I was flight crew, I was divers, I was on a submarine. There's a certain number, you have to do a certain number of qualifications you can do, like get basic qualifications, know the ship, no procedures, yada, 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 yada. For the Cole, this is hearsay because it's coming off of someone else who was on the Cole previously. You must memorize the 17 sailors that died on October 12th, 2000, in order to actually receive your warfare device.
Interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, a bit late to ask who's the cat dude with the shorts. This is Magma.
I am not a cat.
He is one of my mods that I have groomed to be a Shota.
Boy.
Well, he said he'd prefer to be a Shota than a twink or a femboy. So then he doesn't have to go into the race with Mizu and Atari on who's the server's #1 femboy.
I blame Lumi for making me choose to be a Shota rather than a twink. So it's still Lumi's fault. She groomed me.
I mean, I don't know how it's my fault that you would rather be a Shota than a twink.
It's your fault.
Alright. Got another vidya.
Yep.
The bombing of the USS Cole 2000 animated. Oh, it's
So
showing the exact maps and stuff on how it happened.
This is more of the attack of the actual Cole itself rather than what actually happened. It's a good visualization for the actual attack.
Oh, okay. Lumi, you're a woman. What does wearing pink on Wednesday mean? Is that a reference to something? It's a reference to Mean Girls.
I legit thought what I read.
If you never have seen Mean Girls, you gotta watch it. It is a classic. Oh, love it.
Lumi loves feet. That's true. Someone is messing with me. Tanner. I love you. Your songs are amazing. I expect more songs about me in the future because of Miss Lumi here.
Hold on.
Sugarcoating someone else.
Yes, and you are gonna deal with it.
Yeah, Tanner, the songs are.
It's the morning of the 12th of October 2000. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer USS Cole is approaching the port of Aden in Yemen when the communications officer asked for permission to enter the harbour. Aden Port Control, this is US Navy warship USS Cole. There is no response. After 20 minutes, Aden Port Control responds only to tell the Cole they are not ready to receive them yet. Commander Kirk Lippold, the ship's commanding officer, is growing uneasy about the situation. What is meant to be a routine refueling stop is taking far longer than it should. It will be another 3 hours before the Cole is in port. It is a delay which will prove fatal by the end of the morning. In fact, the USS Cole has been marked for destruction by Osama bin Laden, leader of Al-Qaeda. His extremist organisation has ramped up its activities in recent years, perpetrating multiple bombings against US embassies in Africa in the late 1990s. However, one of bin Laden's main goals for the new millennium is to sink an American warship. An attempt was made in Aden on the 3rd of January, with 2 Al-Qaeda operatives intending to sail a boat full of explosives into the destroyer USS the Sullivans. Luckily, the overladen boat sinks in the harbour before it can reach its target. Nevertheless, the operatives managed.
Okay, that's kind of funny. They tried to bomb another ship. They overstuffed their little dinghies, and then that sunk.
Yep. Good.
That's okay. That's just funny. That is just fucking.
To escape and simply wait until another US Navy warship refuels in Aden. When they spot the Arleigh Burke destroyer approaching, they set their plan in motion. The USS Cole prepares to moor to a refueling dolphin in the middle of Aden's inner harbour. The Yemeni port authorities instruct Commander Lippold to moor with his port side facing the pier, but Lippold insists on mooring to his starboard side. Unbeknownst to most of his crew, Lippold received a message from Naval Forces Central Command.
Huh?
Do you know the difference between port and starboard?
You know, I only know of these fancy terms because I had to fight Omega in Final Fantasy XIV, because there was starboard and larboard that I had to remember which side the fucking thing was on, and I keep getting confused. Starboard is left.
Don't get that.
And the other one's right? Because it matches the amount of letters that are on each side.
So if you're on the ship looking to the front of the ship, your left side is your port, and your right side is starboard.
Oh.
Port even, starboard odd.
Oh.
Right has an odd amount of letters in it. Left has a even amount of letters in it.
Oh. Okay.
So they moored on the starboard side with the port facing towards the actual canal, facing towards the actual everything else.
Okay.
This was actually their saving grace.
I see. Port is left, starboard is right. Okay. See, it's like, I don't know all these fancy terms. That's why I always die during that fight in Final Fantasy. I can't memorize starboard and larboard. Hey.
The night before, warning him that Al-Qaeda might be operating in the area. The commander knows that mooring to his starboard side will allow him to make a fast exit if his ship is attacked. However, the Cole has not received a follow-up message that specifically mentions the possibility of a small boat attack. It is one of many intelligence breakdowns that will put the USS Cole and its crew in a dangerous situation. With the destroyer finally secured to the pier, the Cole starts taking on fuel at 10:32 AM. When refueling begins, Ensign Drew Triplett visits Commander Lippold and asks him to review a checklist before returning to his station. It is the last time Triplet will be seen alive. Lippold's anxious mood turns when he is informed that the refueling process is going faster than expected. The commander decides to serve lunch 15 minutes early so his crew can be fed before an early departure. At 11:15 am, men and sailors file into the ship's galley and line up for food. At the same time, fireman Raymond Mooney is topside at the forward refueling station, watching for any fuel leaks into the harbour. He spots a small fiberglass boat approaching the Cole's port side, but Mooney is not worried. He and the security team member at his station have been told to expect 3 rubbish collection barges to stop by. The first 2 have been and already departed. However, Mooney notices that the incoming boat is moving much faster than the other barges. He can see 2 men piloting the craft as it slows down and comes within a few feet of the Cole. To Mooney's surprise, the 2 men look directly at him and smile before saluting. Mooney returns the salute just as the boat bumps against the USS Cole. A second later, at 11:18 am, a massive explosion rocks the ship, throwing Mooney to the deck. Commander Lippold is still in his office when the entire ship loses power and his ceiling caves in. Lippold runs out of the room and finds Lieutenant Jim Salter, who asks him, "What the hell was that?" before running to the main engine room to check for a petrol explosion. However, Lippold instinctively knows that they have been attacked. He grabs his 9mm handgun and rushes to the bridge. Radio communications on board have been knocked out, but a crew member gives the commander a cell phone to contact Aden Harbour Control, who informs him that they will send boats to help with the many wounded. In response, Lippold gives them a stern warning. "If you come any closer than 100 meters to my port side, I will shoot you." He then calls the Operations Center at 5th Fleet Headquarters. Lippold declares a front burner report, meaning an act of war has been committed against US Navy forces.
Okay, so was Al Qaeda working alongside with the people in Yemen, or were they just taking this as an attack of opportunity?
I am looking.
Because they said expect 3 rubbish collecting boats, and 2 already went by, and then this last one came through. The only thing that I could think of is they either intercepted this and took the opportunity of posing as that 3rd boat, or they were told 3 boats just to not suspect anything.
Well, when I was told, sorry, I have salad in my mouth right now. From what I was told, they just took the opportunity when they saw other boats going by.
Okay. Harbinger said, assumed to be civilian, they were not warned of potential attack with small boats. Terrorists hide among civilians. If fired upon, terrorists would claim U.S. shoot civilians for no good reason. I see.
Yeah, that's still a problem going on today, but that's not here. That's not what we need to talk about. So, the reason why mooring on the starboard side actually saved the ship, because where the actual bombing happened, I forget how many compartments were flooded. I can look over the documentation, but the amount of flooding the amount of compartments flooded was not enough to sink the ship. If they were moored on their port side and hit directly on the opposite side, they would have sunk the destroyer. It would have been gone. Bob, I am a fox, not a cat.
Yeah, basically.
No, one's a canine, one's a feline. My tail is larger and fluffier than a cat's, okay?
Potato, tomato.
What do you mean tomato, tomato?
Potato, tomato.
That.
Okay, so what's I'm not sure how fuel distribution is on military ships.
I can answer that question because there's a classification.
Okay, so my educated guess, since it's classified, I suppose, because, we can't just Google the schematics of the USS Cole or anything since it's still active and everything like that. I could probably look on the War Thunder forums. It might be there, but who knows? Anyways.
But what was your question going to be?
Since refueling is taking place on this side of the ship, right? Or was another boat coming over to refuel? Because I don't know how the refueling process goes. So
I don't know how a refueling process goes on the DG, but just from the looks of the ship, they were being refueled from their starboard side. And the trash collecting ships came from the port side.
Okay. So we can assume refueling happened on the starboard side, which means possibly, maybe, most of the fuel is on this side of the ship. If they would have hit on this side of the ship, then there could have been a larger explosion, and the ship probably could have maybe sunk at that point as well.
That is a very high possibility.
But that is just my educated guess of me not knowing anything.
Sorry if I can't answer the question in more detail.
No, you're fine. Or World of Warships. Oh yeah, that too. I always forget about World of Warships having just as much of a classified documents leaking issue as War Thunder does. Diesels will burn, but an explosion is unlikely.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it's like, but then they have to deal with putting out a fire from that. And like, they'd have to divert their attention even more. That type of thing. It's like, I'm sure they have plans and training for like how to appropriately divert your like, you know, resources and attention to be able to have, you know, minimal damage as much as you possibly can.
So with this, every ship has a DCC, a damage control center, which basically just, hey, what's going on? This is what's going on. This is what's broken. This is what's not broken. This is what's working. This is what's not working. Basically, it's the damage control center.
Yeah.
From what from what someone told me, that day the DCC's walls were covered, and were just covered with writing with how much how much they were broken, how much we were tracking, how much we were trying to fix and get everything working again. The walls of that entire room was covered.
I see.
Bye, Lou. Make some good food.
Bye, Lou. See you later. Yemen was a, quote, friendly port at the time. I can never keep track of geopolitics around that time. I don't know. It's like if you were, granted, if you have to refuel somewhere, you'd have to, and you're that desperate for fuel, you have to, you know, call out and pray that they will allow you to fuel at that port. Because, like, for example, when we were talking about this on the Archcast, where in Norway, they straight up told, I think it was a U.S. ship, that they were not allowed to dock and refuel there. Which, in Norway being uppity, how dare they?
Rude of them.
Not friendly, but neutral. Yeah. No. It's geopolitics is something that no matter how much I try to look into it, I get confused, my head starts hurting, and then I stop looking into it. Hello, David the Red. The Iowa battleship in Neil is 4 to 5 stories underwater, or from Neil to keel. Or from keel to the top of the mast is more than 200 feet. Big Navy ships are scary in person.
That is true, yes. It's very fucking terrifying.
Hi, Captain Flippers. How are you?
Do you know what a keel of a ship is?
No idea. I'm guessing it's the bottom angled part, right?
Yes. It's basically the direct bottom of the ship. It's the spine of the ship.
Yay! LumLum got something correct.
If the spine of the ship, the keel breaks, it's basically the ship is kind of lost, sinking, broken. It's not good. The keel of the ship is the spine. You break the spine of a person, guess what? They're not walking anymore. You break the spine of a ship, congratulations, it's not floating anymore.
Oh, Harbinger's an Air Force guy. Nice. Captain Flippers, oh, we're talking about ships, are we? My favorite. Yes. LumLum geopolitics is simple. They all hate us to varying degrees. You know what? Fair.
That is true. Everyone hates everyone. That shouldn't be a secret. Everyone just hates everyone.
Oh, Wayward One says, not too bad. I was on the USS Nimitz. Be it visited damage control to quite a few times.
That should be the CVN.
Since we're on the topic of ships, some guy brought his kids on and snuck into the naval port this morning to see the ships. That was fun to witness. Oh no.
So depending on your command where it's located, that actually might just be authorized. However, from the sounds of it, I don't think it was authorized during that time.
USS Nimitz CVN-68 nuclear aircraft carrier.
Yep.
Magma, translate.
CVN, basically, CV is a designation for any aircraft carrier. N means is a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. And 68 means it is 68 nuclear-powered aircraft carrier.
Interesting.
What?
Captain Flippers, I study as a maritime officer. I'm about to graduate this year so I can work as an officer on cargo and passenger ships. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Well, let us know when you graduate, and we will do a mini celebration on stream. Proud of you. Very proud of you, Captain Flippers. Alright, let us finish this.
The voice on the other end of the line asks in disbelief, "Are you sure?" before the message finally sinks in. The first large vessel to arrive on the scene is the Royal Navy frigate HMS Marlborough, which by chance had been passing by Yemen while returning from a 6-month deployment. Her medical teams saved the lives of many badly wounded sailors who could not be kept on the stricken Cole. That night, Commander Lippold receives positive news that the massive explosion, which knocked over cars in the streets of Aden, somehow did not breach the hull, and the ship is not in danger of sinking. However, 17 sailors are killed in the attack, and 37 more have been wounded. Most of them were in the galley when the boat exploded just underneath the mess hall. The bombing of the USS Cole is Al-Qaeda's first targeted strike against the United States military, and a precursor to the September 11th attacks of the following year. Although they fail to sink the ship, it is a propaganda victory.
Oh, Galileo said, I hate the word limits. He snuck into port on his boat and tried to tour one of the active ships. Still wondering how he did that with security out and about. Okay, so he's arrested.
Ow. Yeah, no, he's gonna get the fucking book thrown on him. He's gonna get drowned in the uniform code of military justice.
I'm waiting for the kids to be able to tell the story of how my father was arrested by military police.
Depending on the severity and the actual implications of what he did, he might just get reduction in rank, wall stripped, and all that. Or depending on his commanding officer, or if he's going up into a court martial, he will either be slapped on the wrist, wall stripped, and all of that, or hey, you're going to Leavenworth, have fun.
Yeah, but also never specified if it was a civilian or somebody who was on there, because he said somebody snuck into port on their boat.
I missed that. Thank you.
So it might be a civilian.
If it's a civilian, federal prison.
Federal prison. Off to federal prison. For what? You brought your kids out here, my guy.
It's not bring your child to work day here, okay?
You don't even work here. Who are you? How my dad got fucked by the Navy this time and not the Marines. No, he was in uniform. Oh, he was in uniform too.
He's going to get USMJ thrown at him. He's going to be the laughing stock of its entire command for at least a decade.
Oh no!
The next day, during morning quarters, is going to be the chief is going to be like, "Don't bring your children to the ship on your own personal dinghy outside of going into our port. That's bad."
Jesus
That's
Christ.
weird.
Okay, if you are able to tell us more, I want to hear updates on this. Ooh, Captain Flippers, I'll be defending my thesis this Thursday, so it's going to be very soon. Well, good luck. Don't let the nerves get to you. I'm sure you'll do great.
You tell Amalgamate that.
For Osama bin Laden, who uses the attack to recruit more extremists to his cause. The official investigation into the incident is hampered by a lack of Yemeni cooperation and the transition from Bill Clinton's presidency to the incoming George W. Bush administration. As such, Al-Qaeda involvement is not confirmed until over a year later. Further investigations find the government of Sudan responsible for providing financial aid to the attackers. The USS Cole is towed back to the United States and rebuilt. She remains in service to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good that they were able to rebuild the Cole.
Yep.
Also, I like this dude's stuff on how he animated shit. So I will keep this channel in mind for when we look into more military stuff.
Yeah, looking at more of his videos, it's pretty good.
I heard you like boats, so I put a boat on your boat.
Mm-hmm. But have you put a boat on your boat that's putting a boat on the boat that's putting a boat on the boat? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, this video is by the United States Navy. It is a remembrance on it. This is more of less of a full retelling of the situation, of more of just remembering what happened.
Well, hey, on October 12th, it will be the 25th anniversary of the bombing of the USS Cole.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure they'll probably do something for the 25th anniversary of it. They usually do for the 10th, 25th, 50th, and 100th anniversaries of stuff.
This is the 15th anniversary.
And the 15th?
The video you're watching is from the 15th anniversary, October 12th, 2020.
Oh, look at that. 20th anniversary. Love watching breakdowns on accident.
Damn, I'm an idiot. I can't count, never mind.
Yeah, I love watching breakdowns on accident reports in the maritime industry. Another great channel is Brick and Mortar.
Brick and Mortar is really good for like maritime accidents. He did a couple. He did one on the Thresher and one on another on a cutter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really. I'm still learning the Coast Guard classification of ships, but yeah, he's pretty good for maritime ship accidents, and it's really in depth, and I really like him.
I see. That's all I know. People who were outside during this were rushed into their buildings. Huh. I'm sure they might have brought out the ye old whip, and it's like, what the fuck were you doing, whip? Why'd you do this, whip? Right in front of his kids. Oh, there's a fat electrician video on how the U.S. Navy took out nearly the entire air force of a country in the Middle East in only 8 minutes. You know, it's like, I know that our military is huge. Our entire military spending budget is probably worth more than multiple countries combined.
Oh, it is.
But,
Very
like,
tough.
I always forget how much superiority in terms of land, air, and sea that the United States has over everybody else.
Mm-hmm. We are the world's strongest navy, and that's for a reason. It's not only for deterrence, it's a show of strength. And the world got reminded on that when they fucked with our boats on Pearl Harbor. And There you got reminded of anything. I'm forgetting the incident. Never mind. Ignore me.
It's like when I was listening to stuff about the latest bombings towards the Iranian nuclear facility, bullshit, whatever. Apparently they sent out like 4, what was it, B2s? 2 for the bombings, 2 as a distraction, saying that they were sending 1 or 2 of them out for, what was it, like a drill or something like that, down from, what was it? This is like wherever the heck the where they're usually stored, and sending it over to, I think, I forgot where they said they were sending it, but those were it was that 1 or 2 aircrafts that people were aware of that were on the move. Nobody knew anything about the other 2 until the bombing was done and they were already over the ocean back towards the United States.
So I think, so from what Lumi was saying, it was
Guam,
7.
yeah.
Yeah, it was 7 not ships, 7 planes, 7 bombers, and majority of them was used for a misdirection technique. So Iranian officials on Iranian radar just couldn't get a beat on everyone. It's still very funny we're using B-52s.
It's just like people always underestimate how the U.S. military can conduct operations, especially when they don't want to know that anything is on the move.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I don't know how high up the B-52s can go. I don't know. Actually, no. I know how silent they are because when my uncle used to bring me to air shows all the time, because he's a pilot, he's done a few things, so he would bring me to air shows every year. So he's like, hey, look at these cool planes. And I was like, look at the cool planes! Anyways, I gotta go to another air show soon. But I seen like a couple bombers flying overhead. I couldn't hear shit. And that was horrifying. That was scary for little me. I was like, why isn't the plane making any sounds?
B-52 can fly, from what is publicly available, it can fly up to 50,000 feet. I'm pretty sure any of the modern variants can go higher than that, though.
On official records, it can go up to 50,000 feet. Who knows how high it can actually go?
Oh yeah. If we have public records on any of the ships, like any specifications on materials and all that, it is completely and utterly fucking false. It is we give them the below military grade standard of what we have.
Yeah, it's like I learned from a young age, any official military documents saying the capabilities of any equipment, I just know, okay, yeah, no, that's either lowballing it to shit or the very minimum that it can do.
Or it's highballing it so people be like, we need to make this better. They use the wrong screw and the wrong component and then everything breaks.
Hell, another big feat was the SR Blackbird, which is up so high that you can see the void of space. That's scary.
Yeah.
Wait for War Thunder to tell us. You know what? Fair.
You know what? Fair.
The SR-71 is amazing. The higher they can fly, the harder it is for SAM missiles or air-launched anti-air missiles can reach them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Flippers, these accidents are fascinating to me because I will be a 3rd officer when I graduate, and those are responsible as safety officers on board of a ship, so it's a good interest to have. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they just have another doc leaked to them? What, on the War Thunder forums?
I don't keep track of War Thunder anymore.
Actually, hold on. I can actually quick look this up. Because there is actually a Twitter page dedicated to days since last War Thunder forum leak.
That's doctor. That's a doctor tweet there. Why? Don't tell me that.
Let's see. Days without confidential leaks in War Thunder. As of 3 hours ago, 3 days. It's been 3 days since the last leak. Happened 1 hour after I put 89 days, LMAO. The AV8. The source attempting to be posted is not cleared for public use and it is clearly marked distribution statement C. Jesus Christ. War Thunder never change.
Lumi loves feet. Yes, I think Lumi knows that whenever I say Lumi loves feet, I'm talking about you, Lumi loves feet, and not the fact that Lumi does indeed love feet.
The skin of a blackbird has to be built with loose panels because the titanium skin expands from air friction when it reaches operational altitude and speed. Interesting.
It gets very cold, then very warm the higher you go.
Yes, I know that much.
It will always be a significant event in my life. You see it here in my house. You see it on my truck. The stickers will come off. I'll let go some, but you really won't ever totally let go because it's a part of you. Always will be. The crew will always be a part of me, as I them. Again, for what we share. And the ship will always be our ship. You know, when you get a command like this, like a destroyer, and it was my first time getting a small ship like this, you think about the size of the crew, you know, everybody knows everybody, and then to see her actually pretty ship-shape and shiny, and all the signal flags flying forward to aft, that makes you feel proud.
It was what really was hard on us because we went there, we took him to the ship and watched it sell off and saw a tear fall from his eye.
The morning before the attack, we had just successfully transited the Suez Canal. We had orders to refuel and take on over 200,000 gallons of fuel. Some of the crew, before we even deployed, felt nervous. It was maybe because it was their first time deploying. Some experienced sailors also felt some bad vibes, don't know why.
See, this is why you always listen to gut feeling. Gut feeling is there for a reason. Gut feeling has been a primal function since the beginning of man.
Yes, however, they still have a mission to uphold.
I know.
You can divert from a mission to a certain point from a gut feeling if you feel like the safety of your people or the ship itself is at risk, but there was a warning, there was a risk, yes, however, they didn't know what risk they were taking. They were not told of someone coming up to them and planting C4 on their hull and blowing it up.
That 25% of people get seasick, so gut feeling is just bile coming up. Well, it's like he said, like, there's newbies, and then he said that experienced sailors were also having bad feelings. So it's like, it's good to express it and maybe even have it written down, just so it's another win for the gut feeling crew here. But like, yeah, we know that, you can't go to port because you got a bad vibe from it. Yeah. But still.
Pardon me. Sal came up for a second.
See, he gets seasick and he's not even on the sea right now.
The first time I was on the ship, unless you have very, very strong sea legs before you join the Navy, you're gonna get sick. It's gonna happen. you're gonna be in your rack for at least 2 days, and the doc's gonna be like, "Here, take some Dramamine. You can feel fine." You're like, "Yeah, I feel fine." And then you throw up the Dramamine when you hit a large wave. It does not feel good.
Yeah. People
Yes,
get bad
wait,
feeling. Oh, go ahead.
Wayward One, you do not know how true that is. Missing a port call for any reason is bad. So whenever you actually go into a port for more than a day, typically during the night, the captain will release people actually go explore where they're moored into. If you go a certain amount of time without mooring into a port, you're going to be affecting the entire morale of the ship. And also, it's just going to be like, we have no new food. We have no new anything. It can get very bad very quickly. That's why, when Corona happened, sorry for demonetizing your channel.
No, we're
When
talking about the beer, for real, for real.
Yeah, talking about the beer, when the Navy decided to adopt Corona as water, the amount of suicides that came from active ships, I can't really say the number because I don't know it off the top of my head. It spiked, and it was bad for the entire Navy. Very, very bad. That's why port calls are always great for crew morale, great for everyone, great for the health of the ship, great for health of the crew.
Oh, interesting.
What's up?
I decided to just Google the suicide rate in the Navy during COVID. Just says the overall trend. While the Navy experienced a decrease during this specific period, the overall trend line since 2011 showed an increase in suicide rates. The overall military suicide rate saw a 15% decrease between 2021 and 2020.
That's funny.
Yeah. Apparently, most of the suicides happen in the Air Force.
That's like what's surprising.
I mean, I'd go crazy if I was a office monkey.
One mystery guy, you just get used to the waves and the seasickness after about maybe a week on sea. If your body does not physically adapt to the waves, to seasickness, after about I can't really say it depends really on the person, but after about a month, you are just taken off the ship.
But I think it's like that in life when you get this gut feeling sometimes that something ain't right.
Yes, October 12th at 11:18. Actually, early that morning, it was just a brief stop for fuel. Then right after that, they passed the word for regular early chow, which is at 11:15.
They were serving chicken fajitas. I think everybody will tell you that.
Oh,
and
really? Lucky.
And then the blast happened.
Unlucky.
Damaged in a terrorist attack in Yemen. American sailors were killed, injured,
U.S.
missing.
Navy officials in Bahrain today said suspected suicide bombing.
It was a deafening sound, but I recall more just feeling it than hearing it. The pressure of it knocked me back in my chair, and along with that, all the lights went out. The next thing that I can really recall from the blast is just this putrid, kind of acrid smoke. It was very hard to breathe. Everybody was choking from the smoke.
I went into work. I walked in and I looked at the television because it was on. It was saying breaking news, attack on the USS Cole. And then my mind just froze, and I was thinking, USS Cole. I didn't want to believe that was his ship.
We have lost everything, the main machinery room instantly flooded. We lost operations, we lost communications. We had nothing. So I basically had to go from being a command master chief now to using my old corpsman skills. We instantly, we lost 17 sailors. We had well over 50 casualties. You live with it every day that these are young men and women that you knew personally. We had a crew of 275. And to respectfully have to put them in a body bag is the worst thing I could ever think of. And to think of their loved ones back home having to deal with that later, that goes through your mind. And what do you say later?
I see two men getting out of the car. Both of them had a uniform.
It's like, this is one thing that I always thought about with, like, delivering news that somebody's loved one died on duty and everything. They have to go let the family know. From what I know, how it used to be when they first started doing that, it was they either just got a letter from the postman, or the postman would tell them. They didn't send any officers or anything like that until like years later.
It depends on how they died and the severity of what happened.
Yeah.
Because if they died secretly, if say you're on a classified mission, you can't tell anyone. It might be years before your loved ones might actually be informed of your death. But for the most part, typically, from what I've seen, if someone in the military dies on active duty, they will be informed by personnel from the branch or from the actual command itself.
Mm-hmm. The United States Armed Forces set up casualty notification team shortly after the Battle of Ia Drang, something like that, in 1965, at the beginning of the American full-scale military involvement in the Vietnam War. And that notification telegrams were handed over to taxi cab drivers for delivery for the next of kin.
Got a piece of lettuce stuck in my teeth.
Oh, this is interesting. Pre-Vietnam War, families often received news through telegrams, letters from commanders or fellow soldiers, or even through newspaper casualty lists, which were often inaccurate. During World War II, a significant step was taken in 1944 when commanders were instructed to write condolence letters to families of those under their command. Vietnam War, in-person notification by designated officers became the standard, with the process formalized to ensure timely and compassionate delivery of the news. And then more modern, after the Vietnam War, casualty notification officers, CNOs, or in the Navy and Coast Guard, casualty assistants, call officers, CACOs were responsible for delivering the news in person within a strict time frame. They also provide support for the family.
Okay.
So yeah, it wasn't until the Vietnam War that they started sending officials in person. Would hate to have that job. Oh my god, yeah. It's like, I've seen videos and stuff on where just like, because it's pure grief. It's heartbreaking to see every time. But the family would start blaming that officer for it happening. Some people, like, if it was a mother and stuff of a younger soldier, they would just, like, just out of grief, anger, everything like that, would just start, not like, beating the person, but just, like, hitting them, saying, like, no, you have to be lying, this can't be real, shit like that. just breaking down. Ugh, I would hate to have that job. It's like, I think it probably has to hit the same way as, like, either police officers having to tell families that, like, their child was killed out on the street or something like that. It's never an easy job to deliver news that somebody that you love has died.
It's never easy. It never gets easy. It never gets easier. If it gets easier for you, you're losing your empathy.
I hope those guys have a lot of therapy assistance.
Yeah, they always do. Therapy is something that the military forces military itself is making more and more available.
Mm-hmm.
I had to talk to a couple therapists during my time in the military, and they helped. And there is a notion in the military that is somewhat true, that if you go to a therapist, you go to a shrink and all that, that you will be removed from the Navy due to mental health reasons. Depending on where you go, who you talk to, this can ring true. I had a friend who told me he had suicidal ideations, not so much actual actions, but just the thought of suicide, because this was during the height of Corona, and he just, what we were going through at the time, it was not hard for anyone. Because who he told, he had to. It was brought up the entire chain of command, and he was removed from the military after a couple of years. The process of being for him is something that took too long because of Corona. For me, I was told to call a certain number for a military hotline. And nothing else was brought up from that. It was really just talk to these people a couple times a week, and I talked to them a couple times a week for 3 months, and it helped.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to go to any mandate reporters for suicide or anything like that, there's a high chance that your military career will be impacted because of it.
Yeah. It's like, it sucks that they tell you to be honest with your feelings with a shrink or a therapist, but after you're done.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, yeah, your career is essentially over.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got 60% disability mainly because of my mental illnesses I gained from the military. One of them, they classifying as PTSD, but it's mainly just imposter syndrome that one of my chiefs gave me.
Yeah. Catch-22. Yeah.
Yep.
Whole Catch-22. It's...
Hello, Wild.
It's like the U.S. military still has a decent way to go in terms of, really caring about the mental health of their soldiers, but I get why that they kind of do it in the way that they do, because they can't have somebody who is, like, a suicidal, someone who's depressed and everything, sent out to the front lines, because who knows how much worse that can get. Especially if you knew how they were, you send them out and then just say that one day they just decided to go out of camp and then kill themselves and you can't find them. Then they're considered MIA. So it's...
Sorry,
I was
answering someone else's questions. What do you say?
Oh, I was saying that, like, I get why the military does it the way that they do now, because why would they send somebody who is suicidal or depressed to the front lines? And they just get worse, they decide to leave base to kill themselves, and then no one can find them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get why they do it, but I wish it'd be different. I don't know. It's like, again, I get it, but I also don't have the faintest idea of what goes on there either. I'm just speaking from a pure civilian standpoint. Army should have... Go ahead.
No, you were reading. Go ahead.
Army should have rehabilitations ready for when they get back. I think that's what the VA is for, and the VA fucking sucks.
The VA has been getting really good recently. There's still some people that we have to wait 60 years before the VA responds. But
Yeah.
the VA nowadays, depending on what VA you're going to, it's really good. I got my VA benefits only 6 months after I got out of the military.
Did you hear about all the veterans that missed their VA appointments because of the stupid-ass protests in LA?
Well, Lumi?
What?
Clab, I'm gone.
Oh no! Oh no! Steam maintenance.
No! Nah! Let me get my Fugi going real quick.
Steam maintenance killed him!
No!
I got your Fugi up.
Which one? Because I got a couple Fugis.
Your Yippee.
Oh. Hey, there's my little guy. Where is my...
Steam killed him! Return to Civvy course would do a world of good for a lot of service members when they get out of their duty time. Yeah.
Surprise! Bink.
That's crazy, Lumi. They missed it due to the protests. Yeah, they missed it because they were blocking the roads. They were blocking the highways and stuff. And a lot of the VA buildings, you have to get via the highway.
Steam had to recalibrate my cuteness. Ha!
It's insane. And like, okay, there's always this one video that I always see on YouTube Shorts. It usually starts circulating around this time of year when it comes to talking about veterans and everything. On where this one officer, he was called for somebody who was pulled off on the side of the road, and he had a gun out. And it was discovered that it was a veteran suffering from PTSD, and the officer who responded was also ex-military, and he had to talk him down. It took 10 to 15 minutes to talk him down from shooting himself or shooting someone else, because it's like he didn't want to kill himself, but he wanted a police officer to shoot him dead because he had a gun. It is such a heartbreaking thing to see every time I see it.
Yeah.
It's insane. Veterans need more help before they get to that point. And it's like, sometimes it just takes other ex-military members to help them through the hardest times in their lives. A lot of funds are being pulled from veterans to illegal immigrants. Yes, they are. And it fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm ignoring those because I do not want to get unreasonably angry at the world right now.
We will get unreasonably angry at the world later.
Yep.
I feel real bad for the police who want to confront those wanting death by cops. Yeah. Because it's like, especially if those veterans are a little more on the religious side, they still want to go to heaven, but they don't want to kill themselves because it's a sin. So they'd rather go out death by cops, so then they can still leave this earth. I'm happy for the ones who are able to get talked down and everything to get the help that they need, but some aren't as lucky.
Yeah.
I think one problem is when you join a unit and a group of people who share the pain. When people leave, they leave as an individual and don't have their brothers to share the struggle with. Yeah. Thank you for talking about this. Oh, it's no problem. It's like, I have a decent amount of family who are ex-military. It's like my grandpa, for example. He was in the Marines. He fought in I think it was Vietnam, if I remember correctly. And after he left the military, he never really seen any therapists. He never talked to anyone about it. Ever since I remember having consciousness in this world, I always seen him drunk. He is always drunk. I never see him sober. Unless he has to take my grandmother out to appointments, he's hardly ever sober. He drinks away the pain. He says that, like, he has told me when I was younger, he has seen the devil and he is real. He's not a well man, but he's well enough to be able to take care of his wife, to take care of his kids, but he's just one that he functions better when he is just drunk now. And at this point, he's like 80-something years old. He's still kicking. It's like at this point, it'd be more of a hurt for him if he were to come off of alcohol.
Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. But yeah, he's been drinking basically nonstop since he left the military. We honestly need to have better care, better resources, better everything for our veterans. Because is the VA getting better for, like, the younger people coming out of the military?
Oh, yeah, I'm back.
Like, the younger people coming out of the military, they're being taken care of a bit better, but they still need to go back to the ones who came out decades ago. Because they're still either homeless, they don't have anyone to rely on. Their family may not be involved in their lives because, hell, I've heard of families just abandoning other family members after they've returned from the military because they don't want to deal with the PTSD.
Yeah. People are gonna hate me for listening to me, a little devil's advocate. Nowadays, at least for the Navy, there is a mandatory class you have to actually go to before you actually get out of the military. It will teach you how to go to the VA, file a claim, if you're going to, and depending on what class you take, it will teach you how to be an entrepreneur, it will teach you how to go to college, it will do a lot of things to help you prepare yourself for when you get out of the military. For any new people going out of the military, they are taught they need to file, they're taught how to file a VA either in person or online. If they do not do that and then they complain that the VA isn't helping them, I feel no sympathy for them. But I feel a lot of sympathy for the people a couple decades ago that were never told this, that were not helped by the system.
Yeah.
Because the system, they were never told of the system.
It's like you can lead a horse to water, something, can't make him drink something.
I won't help people, I won't help themselves. No.
Yeah. Man. I need to find some charities on, like, Tiltify or something that we can do some donation stuff to during 4th of July and other, like, military honor days and everything.
I need to get my DD-214 in a sealed painting on my wall above my computer so I can look up and be like, ha, they can't call upon me anymore. I'm done. Yeah. That is the best piece of paper you will ever see in your military career, unless it's something like a Medal of Honor or Purple Heart.
At least I got my DD-214. I don't know what that is. Translate.
DD-214 is the paper you get when you leave the military. It is basically, you are done. Congratulations, you have served the military. These are the rewards you got. This is everything that we have gotten for you, for your military record. These are all the infractions. These are all the awards. These are all the medals. These are all the ribbons. These are everything you have done. Every
Okay.
command you've been to, every progress report, everything.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Anyone going in the military, if you see any discrepancies with the DD-214, for the love of fuck, get that fixed before you're out. Oh yeah. It also determines what kind of discharge you got. Honorable, less than honorable, admin separation, medical separation, or dishonorable discharge.
I see.
Thank you, Chuck and Bob.
Terrence Pop is on YouTube, Rumble and Kick, and he fights a veterans offing themselves with comedy. You know, the best way to cope is through comedy.
Yep. Or getting a cat.
Yeah, we're getting a cat.
Too busy trying to get outside right now.
Oh, Amadeus is your focus.
He helped me a lot.
Amadeus.
My Neo Black Cyclops, he is so cute.
Anyanta, have a nice stream. Thank you. And also, don't forget, let me know how those Dr. Peppers taste. Poor Nyanta, he can't buy Dr. Pepper where he lives, so he has to buy it through a third party.
Oh, no!
I know it's tragic! But he's trying Dr. Pepper for the first time. Now let me know how that is. I will talk to you later, Nyanta. Alright, let us continue, and also, let me copy this name. I'm gonna put this in YouTube to watch later. Subscribe. Alright. Also caught up to the stream. Yay! Yay! Are you ready for more Sharp on Friday, Alex?
Woot.
Hello, Lucian. Thank you for being a member for 11 months. I want to have a Dr. Pepper float now. Oh, man. I need to get more ice cream. At what time will it start? We will be starting the Sharp stream at noon on Friday. We're probably going from like noon to 9.
Jesus.
Well, we're going to be watching 4 episodes, but also Alex likes to yap about the comparisons between the show and the books. It's such fun.
I've been lurking in those streams. I have not been paying attention to those streams.
And noonish footfish time. That is noon CST, 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. EST. Alright. And also, it's only going to be on Kick, because Kick needs its own special thing every once in a while. And also, DMCA can't catch me there. Also look up in... Oh, side note, Lumi, the Sharp books have a surprising amount of naval knowledge. Bernard Cornwall is a massive age of sail, so he needs to go full autis anytime there is a ship on his books. I see. Oh yeah, and Alex, somebody funded my my Sharp figurine on Throne, so I will be getting that soon-ish. All right, let us continue.
Okie dokie.
And I know from TV that when they come to your house, they're not coming to tell you good news. And so I just kept walking, walked right past my car, and they walked up to me and they said, "Are you Diane McDaniels?" And I said, "No." And they asked me again, and I said yes, because I just didn't want to know. So I went back up, and that's when they told me that he was missing. And then the guy, he had walked toward the back of the apartment, and he came back in, and he said, well, he came back to me, and he said, "Miss McDaniels," he said, "I have to tell you that your son is dead." And I said, "How can he be dead? Because you just told me he was missing." and they said that he had been identified as being dead. So that's how we found out. It's October 12th in the evening. Yeah, that he had died.
A kid I stood watch with every day, OS2 Saunders. Both of his legs were busted up so bad they were out of shape on the, they were all twisted on the Stoke stretcher that they were carrying him on. And still the same cheery personality. He gives me 2 thumbs up and says, "They're taking care of me, Master Chief," as they were as they're carrying him off on a Stoke stretcher. And he was the only shipmate that made it off the ship and over to the hospital that passed away over there. Every other one that we got off the ship and triaged, to get off soon enough, they made it. The rest of them died before we ever got them off the ship.
We had no food stores, no food, potable water's gone. Even in things like don't think about his heads. So, you got to think of preventive medicine. Got to worry about dysentery.
Potable
all
water,
challenges.
drinkable water.
And then you got the enemy on top of that. You still have to worry about. We had to respect each other's decisions and follow orders from junior people, and we did that. And that's what I really feel saved the ship, because even chiefs were following orders of junior enginemen that knew what they were doing, so we could get the right thing done to save our ship and our shipmates. We almost lost her, and she would have been laying on her port side sunk. Once we got through all that and getting all the bodies off, it took about 12 days.
People called us heroes. They called us that when we came back. I think most of the shipmates, we just saw ourselves as doing our job. It was sailors being sailors.
Wayward Run 1.
Keep the story alive.
That's battle stations.
And it's a lesson learned. I'm glad he did what he did, as far as serving, because that's what he wanted to do. But one thing I can say is that even though 17 died, because I have to include the other ones too, it wasn't just him. 17 died to save thousands, because now they are protected. And so I just feel that don't let him and crew members that died, to have died in vain, just let it be a lesson learned, because I wouldn't want anyone else to go through what I went through and the other family members went through, because we went through a lot.
When I left her, she was on stilts down in Pascagoula with big holes in the side of them, removing the main engines, repairing the 40 by 60 foot hole in the side with the American flag flying aft. And that's the way I had to leave her. I was saddened. I would have never thought in my life that I'd have to go through something like that. But when she was fixed, put back, it was pride. Because we told them son of a bitches that we were not defeated, and then we were coming back. And she's out there just like other destroyers, serving and doing their job, doing what they're trained to do, so I can be safe at home here in North Carolina.
It's good that they keep in touch, they stay in contact and everything.
Yeah. It's something you always have to you always remember.
Must be hard fighting on a ship because that ship is your home. It sucks if your home gets hurt.
Yep.
LumLum, let us watch something joyous after, like North Korean ship launch. What happened? What do you mean North Korean ship launch?
Oh yeah, I remember them losing a ship because when they launched it, it immediately capsized.
Oh no.
It didn't float.
How do you make a ship not float?
By being North Korean.
Kim Jong-un furious over North Korea warship launch fail calls accident criminal.
Now, North Korea have experienced a rare and a very embarrassing failure. Its state media has confirmed a major accident at the launch of a new warship, with Kim Jong-un himself witnessing the botched ceremony. Now, the incident took place in Chongjin, a port city near Russia. A 5,000-ton naval destroyer that was meant to showcase Pyongyang's growing military power reportedly malfunctioned during the launch. Now, part of the ship's bottom was crushed, destabilizing it in the water. The vessel is now unusable.
Okay. I'm sure these people are probably already dead, but I am praying for the people who were in charge of that. I am sure they're probably no longer breathing. Or they're being whipped and held in jail. Because it's like, okay, Kim Jong-un is very easy and fun to humiliate. But unfortunately, the people within North Korea who humiliate him tangentially, even if it's just tangentially, were probably killed. 4 people executed?
And Kim Jong-un has called it nothing but a criminal act caused by absolute carelessness, promising that those responsible will face the party discipline. South Korea has said that the launch failed because North Korea used an outdated technique that modern navies have long abandoned. The destroyer is believed to be similar to Chohyun, a warship that North Korea had unveiled last month.
They built the ship with a glass bottom so they could see mines.
But there are also growing signs that
That's
this warship
not how it works. That's not how any of that works. No.
Now, experts say that Pyongyang may have exchanged military support for technical assistance, including sending troops to aid Russia in its war in Ukraine. The Chongjin's proximity to Russia's Vladivostok adds to that speculation.
I think that's his... Is that his wife or his sister? I think that's his sister, because I don't think his wife has been seen in public. His sister is scary. It's like, honestly, I hope Kim Jong-un just stays alive long enough so his daughter can take over, because we all know that he his daughter is his favorite. She's been to so many military events. It's insane. If he dies, his sister is in charge. His sister is worse than he is.
The amount of simps I'm just gonna go like, yeah, North Korea rules, guys, look!
Dude, no! That's gonna fucking happen! Have you seen his sister?
Yes, I've seen the sister, and I've seen people simp for less, okay?
She was in charge for a bit, no?
I think when Kim Jong-un was, had something going wrong with his gut for a couple of months, she was in charge, yes.
She's scary. She hates people more than he does. She laughs at people dying. She doesn't have a soul. She's the embodiment of evil.
Yep.
It's horrifying. Sister will have a man-army harem. He used to date a woman that looked like her. She almost destroyed me.
Why would you bring it up to her then? Hey, girl, you look like Kim Jong-un's sister. You know, it's kind of hot. I would expect you to be thrown out of the fucking house the moment you said that.
I mean,
why do you think it was good to say?
Okay, I doubt that he probably told her that in person. Probably like a post-nut clarity thing, like, oh shit. I could fix her, although I won't, because what's wrong with her is what makes her attractive. Alex! No!
No, Alex, bad.
Bad Alex!
What's wrong with her is going to fuck over everyone.
Lumi is correct. Yay, it was a post-nut clarity thing. You have to give it to the North Koreans. They got their boat upright and in dock quickly. The U.S. would spend a year deciding who to give the recovery contract to. The UK 5 years health and safety review.
There's a reason why it takes so long to make a ship in the U.S. Navy. Because if you do what the Koreans did, you will see that having a ship that floats is better than having a ship that sinks.
Rooftop Korean said, I told her after the nut. No!
No! No!
I have a thing for crazy, have it worse than Arch. Okay, my dude.
Oh, using Brave as well. Nice.
Kim Sol-sung. No, Kim Yo-jung is his sister. She, horrifying woman.
Assumed office.
Yeah, she's the State Affairs Commission. State Affair Commission. Oh, Deputy Director of the Publicity and Information Department.
Oh, so she's a KGB. Got it.
Yep, she is a KGB.
Lovely.
She is 37 years old. She has 2 alleged children. And her alleged spouse is someone named Cho Song, married in 2014. Man.
Pardon me, excuse me.
Didn't know about the USS Cole attack from 2000. I knew about the attack. I just never knew the details of it. I mean, you can't make her not hot in my eyes. God damn it! Even
to be honest, she's mid. She's mid.
And it's like, I'm sure even with saying she's married.
Alex, why?
Alex! Also, why are random fucking K-pop idols are... Please don't tell me she hooked up with a K-pop idol. Oh god, no.
No.
Alright, let's watch the rest of this failed launch.
Accident comes as Kim Jong-un is pushing to expand his navy, including nuclear submarines and underwater drones.
Nuclear
But
submarines.
despite bold claims,
Oh, no.
analysts have questioned if North Korea has the technology to even back them up.
Basically, I'm not sure what to say, because the incident itself is something which is bound to happen when you develop some new complicated weapons system. Sometimes something goes wrong. And indeed the major question is, why did they decide to make it public?
Surprising news from North Korea, a failure to launch a new Navy ship, a giant destroyer said to be 5,000 tons, and with the leader, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, on the spot. It's rare that North Korea acknowledges failure in its state media reports. Why did it do it this time? Well, North Korea is trying to modernize its military. There have been lots of reports from North Korean state media about Army, Air Force, Special Forces, as well as Navy, submarines, and all these kinds of things which are important for North Korea to project its force or make a show of projecting its force. Why this time North Korea has come out with a report of...
You know, it's like, okay. Since Russia is helping them with this, what if, and I'm hoping that this is me just like, you know, overestimating them, but what if they showed this failed launch just to keep everyone's perception of North Korea very low, because it's already low. What if they have a fully working ship somewhere in the background, just, you know, disguised or designed as your average Russian ship?
Yep,
They're trying to keep perception low towards North Korea until they, like, you know, actually need to show a feat of strength. I am hoping I am overestimating their capabilities.
Lumi,
what?
The Russian Navy is just as bad as the North Korean Navy. The only difference is that they actually have ships on the water.
Yeah.
They're not good. And also we're spying on North Korea so much, we know everything about them. So I don't think it really matters. See, the fucking ship on the ground on that video.
He looks like an angry child. He just looks like he has a baby's face on a very large man's body.
He does.
Should see Laserpig's video, what sunk the Moskva?
I think I've seen that video.
Huh. North Korea is the wimp of that bunch. They trained him wrong as a joke.
Pardon
me? Best part of North Korean Navy is that they have to split between two coasts and can never reposition from one side to the other.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I'm sinking my battleship. We didn't sink shit. You decided to have a failure at launch, mister. You didn't even get out of port.
Kim Jong-un is not happy after the launch of North Korea's new Navy
Have fun, Rooftop Korean.
warship ended in failure. The North Korean leader who witnessed the accident called it a criminal act that could not be tolerated. During the launch at the northeastern port of Chongjin, the vessel became unbalanced and sustained damage to its hull. No further details.
Hold on. That ship is on its side.
Covered in tarps to try and get everyone. This is where we pull back our heads and laugh.
Vessel became unbalanced and sustained damage to its hull. No further details were provided about the incident. We don't know if anyone was injured, for example. But any admission of failure is extremely rare in North Korea. Satellite images show parts of the 5,000-ton destroyer's bottom crushed, with the ship left lying sideways in the sea. Kim blamed Thursday's incident on absolute carelessness, irresponsibility, and unscientific empiricism. The North Korean leader added the failed launch severely damaged the dignity and pride of our nation in an instant. The ship has been ordered to be restored,
no shit.
And Kim has warned officials who made the irresponsible errors would have to be dealt with at a plenary meeting next month, according to the Korean Central News Agency.
Man, Wayward 1 has a point.
The incident comes after the North Korean leader
and just didn't go underwater all the way.
attended the launch of a similar-sized destroyer alongside his daughter Kim Ju-ai.
Oh, that's his kid. Huh, she's grown up a lot since we last seen any public images of her.
Alex, I'm going to hit you if you say anything about that.
Leave her alone. She's like 16.
Oh, I'm going to hit you harder then. Lumi loves feet. No, bad.
Daughter's better. Last time I seen any pictures of her, she was wearing that one winter coat and her face was still all pudgy. Kim Joy. This can't be the same daughter. No, yeah, it's Kim Joy. Yeah, she has grown very tall in a very short amount of time. This can't be the same kid. No fucking way.
Maybe, maybe not.
Because this was the last picture that I seen of her.
Oh my god, it's chubby. I mean, by looks of it. They're running out of food, so that's why she's growing tall and thin.
Yeah, that can't be the same kid. She looked like she went on Ozempic. That has to be a fucking body double. Oh, hey, Eric. I'm not saying your new name. Can I do the finger? What? Oh. Fucking... The
Who's
point
Eric?
one? Eric Jenkins. He changed his name to Primate King Son. I'm not saying...
Ah!
What? This one? Monkey. Okay. Hey, Braver, how are you? First daughter? Yeah, this is his eldest daughter. She is his favorite. He wants her to succeed him when he dies. We have never seen any of his other children in person. Wait, no, she's not. No, see? This can't be the same fucking kid. No. Kim Jue was born in 2012 or 2013. That,
would make
no.
her 13.
I refuse to think, because I know Kim Jong-un is a very short man. This does not look like a 12 to 13-year-old. No, not 12 to 13, 11 to 12-year-old. That is not Kim Jue. I refuse. No.
I think Lumi just discovered a conspiracy theory.
That is not Kim Jue. Because we know she goes to school in Switzerland. We know that. Working for Russian embassy in Pyongyang. Yeah, it's just like, no, that can't. No, I refuse to think that is Kim Jue. This, yes, I believe is Kim Jue. This is not her. I refuse to believe that is an 11 to 12-year-old girl. Can't refuse the party, LumLum. The party is the truth. No.
What is this?
I am
amazing.
This bullshit's gonna make me put on my tinfoil fucking hat against North Korea. Ugh.
Oh yeah. Did you hear that? I forget if it's China to Russia or Russia to China, but someone did a massive hack to someone else. I think it was China to Russia.
Yeah.
James, Lumi is tiny.
I am 5 feet tall.
She's tiny.
I came by to say hi. Sorry, I'm playing with my dad. We're on a big argument of who could kick whose ass in real life. I have fun with that. And thank you for stopping by, Braver. It's always nice seeing you.
Apparently you're 1 toe tall.
Shut up. And I refuse to think that is Kim Jue. She looks too old.
Ha.
I swear, am I gonna have to do a... Oh, man!
5 foot tall or...
My streams are dying! No!
Wow, yeah, you're dying over here too. You were going robotic for a second.
I think that's a sign of telling me,
I mean, you're good now, but I don't know how long that now was gonna be.
I think I'll take this opportunity to probably reset my modem and probably send you guys off somewhere
North Korea's
else.
going after you. You realize the truth. They're going after you.
I realize the truth. Oh no! No, but I will probably take this chance to send you guys somewhere else before my stream dies.
Oh, guys, this is gonna be streamception now.
No, I hid my thing.
Ah, okay.
All right, let me see where I can send you guys. Can I not? Please kick. Can I please?
No, you shall not.
Nah, this shit blowing me, TJ. This shit.
Shut the fuck up.
Nah, this shit blowing me, TJ.
Stupid fucking idiots.
Oh, it's gonna loop back for a bit.
No, it's not.
Man.
All right, host channel. There we go. I don't know any. I don't remember following any of these people. Oh well, you guys will go to this random VTuber over here. I don't know who they are.
Hello,
and
random
for
VTuber.
YouTube, I will send you guys over to who's live right now. You know what? Fuck it. You guys are going over to Hypnotic.
Yay.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in a few hours to talk about Bonnie Blue and how she is trying to say that her petting zoo is an art piece. So, fuck you. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.